Jelly Roll has finally revealed the heartbreaking truth behind his massive 200-pound weight loss, and this story goes far deeper than a physical transformation. This was not about fame, image, or chasing a healthier brand. This was about survival, about staring death in the face and realizing that if something didn't change immediately, everything he had fought so hard to build, his family, his career, his redemption story, could disappear forever. For years, Jelly Roll lived in a body that was slowly shutting down. At his heaviest, he has admitted his weight climbed well past 500 pounds, and with it came a constant state of discomfort and fear. He wasn't just tired, he was exhausted at a level that made everyday life feel unbearable. Breathing felt heavy, his joints ached constantly, his body felt like it was carrying decades of damage, not just extra weight. Even simple moments, like standing in one place too long or walking across a room, became painful reminders that something was deeply wrong. Sleep, which should be a time of rest, became dangerous. He has spoken about nights where breathing felt strained, where waking up felt uncertain. His body was sending warning signs over and over again, and eventually those signs became impossible to ignore. This wasn't a dramatic collapse or a sudden hospital scare. It was something far scarier, a slow realization that his health was deteriorating in real time. The most terrifying part, according to Jelly Roll, was that he could feel it happening. He has described moments where he could physically sense his body failing him. His heart felt under constant pressure. His stamina was gone. His blood pressure was alarming. He didn't feel like a man living. He felt like someone slowly fading while still walking around, still working, still pretending everything was fine. As he approached his late 30s, that fear intensified into something overwhelming. Jelly Roll has said that turning 40 at his size felt like a death sentence, not a metaphorical one, a real, tangible fear that his life might not extend much further if he kept going the way he was. He didn't want to be another tragic headline. He didn't want his story to end with people saying he had so much talent, so much heart, but couldn't outrun his own health. That fear hit even harder because of where he came from. Jelly Roll had already survived more than most people ever will. Addiction, jail, poverty, chaos, loss. He had clawed his way out of a past that should have destroyed him, and the idea that food, comfort, and neglect would undo all of that felt cruel and unacceptable. He had fought too hard to die quietly from something he could no longer ignore. But the most painful realization had nothing to do with doctors, diagnoses, or numbers on a scale. It had everything to do with family. Jelly Roll is a father, and becoming a parent changed the way he saw himself and his choices. He has spoken openly about moments that broke his heart, moments when his body simply wouldn't let him be the dad he wanted to be. Playing with his kids became exhausting. Running was nearly impossible. Even extended time on his feet felt overwhelming, and with every limitation came guilt. He didn't just worry about missing moments, he worried about missing their lives. The thought of his children growing up without him haunted him deeply. He didn't want them remembering a father who loved them but couldn't stay alive long enough to protect them, guide them, or watch them grow. That fear stayed with him constantly, sitting heavy on his chest every time he felt short of breath or physically drained. Then there is his wife, Bunnie Xo, who has stood by him through every phase of his life. From his darkest days to his biggest successes, she never walked away, and Jelly Roll has made some of the most brutally honest confessions of his career about how his weight affected their marriage. He admitted that his health issues didn't just affect his body, they affected intimacy, confidence, and emotional connection. He spoke about feeling embarrassed, ashamed, and trapped in a body that didn't reflect the love he felt for his wife, not because of anything she did, but because of how limited and powerless he felt. Those admissions stunned people because celebrities rarely speak that openly about the private toll of health struggles, but Jelly Roll didn't hide from the truth. He told it exactly as it was.
He made it clear that love alone can't undo physical damage. Support alone can't fix a body that's breaking down. Extreme weight affects everything: relationships, self-worth, mental health, and the ability to show up fully for the people that matter most. For Jelly Roll, food wasn't just food, it was comfort, it was escape, it was addiction. After years of battling drugs and alcohol, food became the replacement. The same addictive cycle followed him: stress, emotional pain, reward, guilt, shame, repeat. Eating became a way to cope with trauma that never truly left him, and while food helped him survive emotionally, it was slowly destroying him physically. Breaking that cycle required more than willpower. It required honesty at a level he had never faced before. He had to confront why he ate, not just what he ate. He had to sit with emotions he had numbed for decades. Trauma doesn't disappear with fame. Success doesn't erase pain. And weight loss isn't just physical, it's psychological and emotional. This transformation did not happen overnight. There was no single wake-up call that magically changed everything. There was no miracle moment. It started small, with walking, not running, not intense workouts, just walking, sometimes just to prove to himself that he could move forward one step at a time. He committed to daily movement, even when it hurt, even when it was uncomfortable, even when his body resisted every step. Rain, fatigue, excuses, it didn't matter. He kept going, slowly, deliberately, consistently. His eating habits changed too, not drastically overnight, but intentionally. Comfort foods had to be reduced, portions had to be controlled, old routines had to be broken, and every change forced him to face discomfort instead of escaping it. That mental struggle, he has admitted, was often harder than the physical pain. There were setbacks, plateaus where the scale didn't move, days where motivation disappeared, days when old habits whispered that it would be easier to go back. Jelly Roll has been honest that some days felt like fighting himself all over again, because losing weight meant losing excuses, losing armor, losing the ability to hide behind size, humor, and self-deprecation. As the weight came off, something unexpected happened. He felt more present, his thoughts became clearer, his energy returned, his confidence grew not because of how he looked, but because of what his body could do again. He could imagine a future without constant fear, a future where dying young wasn't always hanging over his head. Fans noticed the change before he ever explained it. On stage, he moved differently. He looked stronger. Interviews revealed a calmer, more grounded version of him. And when he finally started speaking openly, the response was overwhelming. People saw themselves in his honesty. People struggling with weight, addiction, shame, and self-destruction finally felt seen. What made Jelly Roll's journey resonate so deeply was that he never acted like he was better than anyone else. He never preached, he never shamed, he never pretended he had all the answers. He simply told the truth, and in doing so, he gave others permission to tell theirs. His transformation happened alongside one of the most successful chapters of his career. His music reached new heights, his audience expanded, his message deepened. And while fame wasn't the reason for his weight loss, the timing felt symbolic: a man shedding physical and emotional weight while stepping fully into his purpose. Jelly Roll has said he doesn't hate the man he used to be. He understands him now. He understands why he coped the way he did, why survival sometimes looked like self-destruction, and instead of shame, he feels compassion for his past self. Today, nearly 200 pounds lighter, Jelly Roll is honest that the journey isn't over. He doesn't claim perfection, he doesn't claim victory over every temptation, but he does claim ownership of his life in a way he never had before. This was never about fitting into smaller clothes or chasing praise. This was about staying alive, about watching his children grow up, about loving his wife fully, about honoring the second chance he's been given more than once. Jelly Roll didn't just lose weight, he reclaimed his future.